pandemic period is going on, and hope you all are well here in this pandemic as well. As far as our 12th standard of final examination is concerned, board examination is concerned, the dates are already declared by the government, and I think examinations will be held as per the date declared by the government. So there may be a bit tensions that dates has created, that may have created. So you may be doing well here in this situation too again. So बीइंग हमारे सामने अभी ये पूरा फरवरी का मंथ बचा हुआ है, उसके बाद फिर हम लोग मूव करते हैं मार्च के लिए, और अप्रैल में you're going to appear for the examination. So month of April and May is there, which is that. Are you getting my voice? If not, please anyone, please let me know through the chat and whatever the situation, whatever the right. If you can unmute and let me know if getting my voice well and all. Okay, so so in that sense, yes, okay, thank you. So it may have created a bit pressure because you have to appear for the examinations in April, and it may have it. Actually, it's as per the norms, or even as far as board examination is concerned, government is also going to declare the syllabus. Already it's declared, I think. But as we approach to the examinations, it may bit restructure or whatever the syllabus they have declared. We have to just pay for this one as far as board is concerned. But for JEE NEET, we have to go long because JEE NEET के लिए ministry ने already clear किया है कि there won't be any cuts off here in the syllabus of JEE NEET examinations, because these are already examinations and competitive examinations where we need to appear, and always it tests our capacity, it always tests our knowledge in depth and the preparation for the medical or engineering examination. So that's why clearly syllabus is not cut, or complete syllabus is there for the JEE or NEET examinations. But it's okay, we have the till we have the a lot of time remaining. We can utilize this time well, and we'll try our little best to be with you here throughout this journey, especially for your board examinations and JEE NEET examinations. Or hope so. The situation in Pune city is now coming to the normal, and although the government has allowed to start some of the schools, colleges, as well as classes too, but there are some certain rules and regulations because of which till it becomes difficult for us to start with offline lectures. Even we are taking survey from the students, so what I will suggest you, just respond to the survey well. How many amongst you are interested to start with offline classes? How many amongst you are interested to start or continue with the online classes only? Because still the virus is there and fear is there also, but it's becoming bit normal. We have to take care of that one. So it's depend upon your survey as well as the situation in the market. We'll try to be with you in both of the situations, in online and offline, and we'll help you to cover up the syllabus. So even we have planned some situations, or we have planned some things, special things for you, but depends upon the situation, how the situation allows us to cope up with that part. So accordingly we'll go ahead, but I assure you all that we'll be with you to crack your board examinations and JEE NEET examinations well. Okay. After a long time again, I'm here to continue with lectures. So as far as our physical chemistry is concerned, there are two chapters which we need to cover, or we need to go through. Number one is, I think so, electrochemistry, जो already मैंने start में एकदम starting में लिया था, ये month of April, जैसे मार्च में लॉकडाउन हुआ था, month of April में मैंने start ही किया था electrochemistry के साथ. उस टाइम लिया था, शायद काफी सारे बच्चे उस टाइम लॉगिन नहीं कर पा रहे थे, नहीं थे. और दूसरा चैप्टर बचा हमारा आयोनिक इक्विलिब्रियम, जो हमारे सिलेबस में है. So सिचुएशन देखते हुए इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री मैंने पहले थोड़ा सा लिया था, कुछ बच्चे थे वहां पे, तो इसलिए उसको अभी लेने से पहले मैं लास्ट में लूंगा, और अभी मैं चैप्टर जो कंटिन्यू करूंगा वो है ionic equilibrium, which even admin is suggested to continue with ionic equilibrium. So I would like to move with ionic equilibrium. So let's move with ionic equilibrium. Yes. Hope you all are compatible with this chapter, that is ionic equilibrium. Okay. Now see, this is very easy chapter. Length is bit there with the chapter, but the chapter is bit lengthy, but having a very easy concept, very interesting concept. काफी easy concept है, interesting concept है ionic equilibrium के. चैप्टर का लेंथ देखेंगे तो लगता है यार बहुत बड़ा चैप्टर है, तो कैसे प्रिपेयर करेंगे इसको, लेकिन जहां तक इसके कंटेंट की बात है, कंटेंट काफी सिंपल है, काफी इजी है, इजी टू प्रिपेयर है, और सारे टॉपिक एक दूसरे के साथ रिलेटेड है। तो इस चैप्टर में भी जनरली मोस्ट चैप्टर में यही होता है, और इस चैप्टर में भी ये बात जरूर खास है कि इस चैप्टर का जो स्टार्ट पॉइंट है, स्टार्ट पॉइंट के साथ हर टॉपिक एक दूसरे के साथ जुड़ा हुआ है। तो मैं बच्चों को अपील करना चाहूंगा कि स्टार्ट से बने रहे इस चैप्टर के साथ। चैप्टर इजी है, सिंपल है, प्रिपेयर कर पाएंगे हम लोग, बहुत इजीली प्रिपेयर कर पाएंगे, बट स्टार्ट के कॉन्सेप्ट के साथ सेकंड कॉन्सेप्ट लिंक्ड होता है, कनेक्ट होता है। So need to be proper in a sequence throughout the chapter, so to get this chapter well. Ionic, in our daily routine life, we are concerned with this ions, ionic equilibrium. Even this pandemic has highlighted these things. There are many minerals in our body. There are many nutrients in our body which are required to maintain the immunity. Once we have the immunity, then it's difficult for the COVID even to disturb our body, to get affected with this. So ions play a very important role in human body. Many of the functions of our body depends upon the ions. We have the sodium plus ion, we have calcium plus ions, we have potassium plus ions in our body. There are many types of ions which are present in our body. Even in our daily routine life, especially many industries are also related with this types of ions and the equilibrium. So basically, हम अच्छी तरह जानते हैं कि there are acids, we have come across all different types of acids, base as well as, and salts. So acid, base, and salt, these substances make a very important part of our life, make a very important part of the science. And right from our science, since we enter into the science stream, since we enter into the science subject, right from I think so first, second standard, we have listened about this acid, base, and salt substances. So ये तीनों substances की खासियत है कि तीनों substances हम जब पानी में put करते हैं तो they produces ions. So when they produces ions, at the same time some undissociated molecules are also there. Say for example, HCl produces H plus Cl minus, as well as HCl also exists. NaOH, NH4OH, acetic acid, formic acid, ammonium hydroxide. These are the substances जो acid based salt हम कहते हैं. Whenever they're put into the water, they produces ions, as well as there are some ions, as well as there are some undissociated molecules of these substances. So there lies an equilibrium between these ions and substances, and that equilibrium what we discuss here. Just example के तौर पर मैं देना चाहूँगा आपको. Suppose acetic acid आप जिसे अच्छी तरह जानते हो, CH3COOH. This is acetic acid. Acetic acid dissociated into the water to produce CH3CO minus. This is acetate, and this is the H plus ions which is dissociated from this acetate. So this acetic acid produces acetate ions and H plus ions. This is what we have. And as this acid produces these ions comes together to form this acid again. So it is shown by a double-headed arrow. जो हम normally इस तरीके से दिखाते हैं. Normally हम इस तरीके से दिखाते हैं. So these molecule produces these ions, and these ions produces this molecule. So this journey continues accordingly. ठीक है ना? And that is what we are saying. So this is the forward reaction and this is the reverse reaction. Both reactions are good. But there lies the equilibrium between these two. ये दोनों के बीच में वहां पे equilibrium रहता है, जिसी को हम चैप्टर के अंदर डिस्कस करना है. So we have to discuss that is, you can say, ionic equilibrium. There is a equilibrium between the ions of the substance and its undissociated molecule. So this is the molecule which is called as undissociated. Dissociate, association को break करना. See, H and this acetate, मतलब ये H plus and वो जब इकट्ठे आते हैं, एक साथ आते हैं, तो उन्हें association कहते हैं. और जब दूर हो जाते हैं तो उन्हें dissociate कहते हैं. Disassociate. So this is the dissociation process and this is the associated process. So when we put them into the water, we have this molecule and also we have these ions, and there lies a equilibrium between these two. मतलब हमें पानी में ये भी मिलेंगे और ये भी मिलेंगे, इनके बीच में एक इक्विलिब्रियम अटेंड होता है. ये हम वहां पे डिस्कस करते हैं, देखते हैं, और इस चैप्टर का हमारा मेन पार्ट यही है. This is only as an example I have taken. This is acetic acid. There are many salts, there are many acids, there are many bases. What we discuss here in science or in chemistry, and we have to discuss their equilibrium. Or this equilibrium has a tremendous applications in our daily routine life, in biological processes, or in many of the industries. Even आप ये अच्छी तरह जानते हो कि डॉक्टर बहुत बार आपको ये सजेस्ट भी कर रहे हैं कि किसी भी टाइप का वायरल इन्फेक्शन हो जाएगा तो मोस्टली आप लोग सॉल्ट के वाटर के गार्गल्स कीजिएगा, थोड़ा सा जो वार्म वाटर होता है उस वाटर के आप थोड़ा सा मतलब बॉडी वार्म उस टाइप के वाटर का आप गार्गल्स कीजिएगा। गार्गल्स मतलब गले में डाल के हम लोग गार्गल्स करते हैं, बबलिंग करते हैं और पानी फेंक देते हैं। उसके पीछे भी साइंस यही है कि सॉल्ट NaCl पानी में जब पुट करते हैं तो प्रोड्यूसेस Na plus and Cl minus ions. So whatever the NaCl what we use in daily routine life, this is NaCl which dissociates to produce Na plus Cl minus, and this is again reversible process, no doubt at all. Okay. So Na plus and Cl minus, these ions are produced and these ions break down the lipid profile of this viruses. तो काफी सारे viruses के मालूम this is the virus what we can say. तो virus का जो cell membrane होता है outer membrane, this ions has the capacity to break this virus. तो बहुत बार डॉक्टर हमें ये कहते हैं कि आपको अगर गले में थोड़ा बहुत कुछ अनकंफर्ट है तो वार्म वाटर जो होता है मतलब बॉडी वार्म सोडियम क्लोराइड का वाटर, सोडियम क्लोराइड डिसॉल्व करके उसके थोड़े से गार्गल्स कीजिएगा ताकि Na plus Cl जो माइनस तैयार होते हैं वो इस सेल मेम्ब्रेन को ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं और इसलिए वायरस वहां पे इनएक्टिवेट हो जाता है उस तरीके से. See, this is even very right or perfect mechanism what we observe here while dealing or fighting against the viruses. कोविड के बारे में बोला जाता है कि that is also can be broken like this one. और साइंटिस्ट के सामने यही चैलेंज है कि किस तरीके से हम उसे ब्रेक करें. But ionic equilibrium has the applications here in this medications also. So that's what I am saying. Ionic equilibrium is not just a chapter. There are many applications of this chapter, this content or concept of this chapter in our daily routine life in many of the industries, pharma industries or many of the biological as well as food industries. काफी सारे उसके applications हैं. ठीक है. So काफी अच्छा जर्नी है इस चैप्टर के अंदर का और काफी इजी टॉपिक इस चैप्टर के अंदर हम डिस्कस करेंगे. सबसे पहले देखते हैं कि आयनिक इक्विलिब्रियम का जैसे मैंने बताया कि क्या है ये. There are many substances जिन्हें हम लोग एसिड बेस और सॉल्ट कहते हैं. They produces ions when they put into the water and there is a equilibrium. Equilibrium lies between them. और equilibrium क्या होता है ये भी देखिए हम अच्छी तरह जानते हैं कि here this is the substance which produces these ions and ions come together to form these substances. So there are two reactions. There is a forward reaction, there is a reverse reaction. At a certain moment, the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of reverse reaction. मतलब ये forward reaction और ये reverse reaction है. Certain moment में दोनों reaction का rate क्या होता है? Equal होता है, एक जैसा होता है. And that state is known as state of equilibrium. In 11th standard, we have seen the chapter called as chemical equilibrium. So ionic equilibrium is a continuation of chemical equilibrium. So again, I will suggest go through the concept of 11th standard. जो जरूरी है मैं repeat करूंगा. Though we have seen it in 11th standard, उसके जो जरूरी concept है, जो यहाँ पे जरूरी उनको मैं जरूर आपके सामने लेके आऊंगा, उसको repeat करूंगा, दोहराऊंगा. लेकिन आप खुद होकर थोड़ा अच्छी तरह और समझें और पढ़ें, तो आपको ज्यादा better रहेगा. So ionic equilibrium समझने के लिए 11th standard का chemical equilibrium थोड़ा सा समझना जरूरी है. That will help you to get this chapter well. That's ionic equilibrium. So there is a forward reaction, there is a rate of reverse reaction, and the state when the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of reverse reaction, that state is called as state of chemical equilibrium. And this equilibrium always lies in most of the reactions where we have the forward and reverse reaction. उस टाइम में जो reversible reactions होते हैं, उसमें ये हम लोगों को equilibrium हमेशा मिलता है. और यही equilibrium हमें इस चैप्टर के अंदर डिस्कस करना है, कॉल्ड ionic equilibrium. No doubt. Here we are going to deal with three substances. Here we are going to deal with three substances. Substances number one. That is acid, number two base, and number three is nothing but the salt. And we have to discuss the equilibrium of these substances, ionic equilibrium of these three of the substances. So also we are going to discuss what are the acids. Acid हम जानते हैं, लेकिन किसे acid कहा जाता है, किसे base कहा जाता है, किसे salt कहा जाता है, इन्हें हमें define भी करना पड़ेगा. तो chapter के initial part में starting में will define the acid, base and salts. Then also we'll see their dissociation, some concept related with that. That is called a degree of dissociation, dissociation constant of acid, dissociation constant of base, Ostwald addition law. That is what we'll see here in the first part. Also, we'll deal with the amphoteric nature of the substances as खास करके water, dissociation of water. और यही जो acid based substances है जो acidity और basicity पैदा करते हैं, basicity पैदा करते हैं. So how we can measure this acidity or basicity? Substances की acidity basicity कैसे measure कर सकते हैं? That is called pH or pH. So here in the chapter also we are going to discuss the acidity and basicity based on the pH scale or pH or pOH scale. That is what we are going to discuss here in this chapter. And the lastly here in the chapter we are going to deal with the salts. हमारे डेली रूटीन लाइफ में सॉल्ट के साथ तो बहुत कंसर्न होते हैं. इवन हमारे बॉडी के अंदर भी हम जानते हैं कभी-कभी हम एडवर्टाइजमेंट देखते हैं प्रोडक्ट के, ये जीनियस बच्चा है, मतलब ये नमक खाता है, वो ये नमक खाता है, like that. Namak is nothing but the salt, and chemically salt is very important, or in human body this salt is important. Here salt when put into the water, how they changes the chemical composition, substances, and that is what we are going to discuss here. So there are different salts. There are salts of strong acid, weak base, strong acid, strong base. There are many probability combinations. So here in this chapter also we are going to discuss related with the salts and how they prepare the water or how they prepare the solutions and the chemical property of changes. So that is also what we are going to discuss here in the chapter. ये भी हम वहाँ पे discuss करने वाले हैं, चल रहे हैं, clear? Just a second. Then, furthermore, also we are going to discuss many part related with this common line effect related with this chapter. Okay. So and solubility product is the last topic. What we are going to discuss here in the chapter. Solubility product जो salt के साथ ही related है. So चैप्टर काफी इजी है, थोड़ा सा लेंथी जरूर है, लेकिन शुरुआत से अगर बने रहेंगे आप लोग, मुझे लगता है एक टॉपिक अगर क्लियर करते चलेंगे, उसी के साथ दूसरा टॉपिक कनेक्टेड है, इजी है लेकिन कनेक्टेड। तो अगर पहला हम लोग मिस आउट करते हैं तो सेकंड कनेक्शन हम लोगों को समझना थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट होता है। सो दैट्स व्हाई आई विल अपील ऑल ऑफ यू, सो चैप्टर के साथ कंटिन्यूअसली बने रहे। दिस चैप्टर आई विल मेक 100% वेरी इजी फॉर यू। ऑलरेडी इट्स इजी, आई विल मेक इट मोर इजी देन व्हाट इट अपीयर्स। सो लेट्स मूव टू दिस ionic equilibrium. Okay, as I stated, here in the chapter we are concerned with the substances which produces ions into the aqueous solution. Aqueous मतलब water. किसी भी substance के water solution को उसका aqueous solution कहा जाता है, हम अच्छी तरह जानते हैं. So the substances which produces ions into the aqueous solutions are called as electrolytes, and we know very well. उसी का इक्विलिब्रियम हम यहाँ पे डिस्कस करते हैं। तो सबसे पहले डिस्कस करेंगे हम लोग कि व्हाट आर द इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स एंड देन अकॉर्डिंगली वी गो अहेड। सो सबसे पहला आता है कि substances are classified into two categories. Number one, you can say electrolytes. Electrolytes, and here you can say non-electrolytes. Okay, so substances, whatever the substances we have in the nature, these substances can be classified as electrolytes and here non-electrolytes. See, these are the substances which produces ions in aqueous solution. Aqueous solution. So these produces electrolytes are the substances which produces ions in aqueous solution. The ions मतलब they produces cations or anions. जरूरी नहीं कि वो सिर्फ cations पैदा करे, जरूरी नहीं कि वो सिर्फ anions पैदा करे. The substances which produces cations or anions into the aqueous solution, AQ. AQ stands for aqueous. So here what I have written, that is AQ. That is nothing but the aqueous. Aqueous, and aqueous is nothing but the water solution. किसी भी substance का water solution is called as aqueous over here. So the substance which produces ions, that is cations and anions into the aqueous solution, is called as electrolyte. And the substance which do not produce ions in aqueous solutions are called as, you can say, non-electrolyte. So these are the substances which do not produce ions in aqueous solution. So no ions in aqueous solution. Matlab they do not produce ions in aqueous solutions. They do not produce ions in aqueous solutions. For example, क्या बात करते हैं हम लोग? So there is an example. All acids, all base, and all salt. Sorry, I'm sorry. All acid, all base, and all salt produces ions in aqueous solution. Whereas we can have sugar, we can have alum, we can have starch, and all. These are the substances which do not produce ions in aqueous solutions. तो ऐसे कुछ substances है जो ions पैदा नहीं करता है aqueous solutions के अंदर. So these are the molecules which do not produce ions, and these are the molecules which produces the ions. So these are called as electrolytes. Here in the chapter, we are not dealing with these non-electrolytes. These are the substances. Non-electrolyte are the substances which do not produce cations and anions in aqueous solutions. Whereas electrolytes are the substances which produces ions, that is cations and anions in aqueous solutions. Here in the chapter, we are dealing with electrolytes. These electrolytes के वापस दो टाइप होते हैं. These electrolytes के दो टाइप, that is, you can say, strong electrolyte, and दूसरा जो होता है that is called weak electrolyte. Big learner here. So electrolytes are again classified into two categories, that is strong electrolytes and weak electrolyte. These are very important definitions, and this is very fundamental part knowledge to again. हम जानते हैं strong electrolyte की खासियत होती है they dissociate completely. They dissociate completely. This is a very important word, that they dissociate completely. Whereas weak electrolyte dissociate partially. So these are the substances which dissociate partially. So the substances or the electrolytes which dissociate completely, these are called as strong electrolyte, and these are the substances which dissociate partially. Partially मतलब बहुत कम amount उसका dissociate होता है और इसका बहुत ज़्यादा amount dissociate होता है. For example की बात करते हैं. देखिए ना यार कि अगर हम लोग HCl की बात करते हैं, HCl is a strong acid, and that's why it is also called as a strong electrolyte too again. HCl dissociate to produce H plus plus Cl minus ions. ओके, तो अब देखिए HCl एक ऐसा मॉलिक्यूल है जहां पे हाइड्रोजन क्लोरीन एसोसिएटेड है, इकट्ठा है, और जब उसे पानी में पुट करेंगे तो वो डिसोसिएट होते हैं H plus एंड Cl minus। तो उसे राइट लिखने का तरीका ऐसा है, H plus aqueous and HCl minus aqueous। राइट साइड में aqueous लिखा जाता है क्योंकि HCl में तो डिसोसिएट फॉर्मेट में नहीं रहेगा, लेकिन जब वैसे पानी में पुट करेंगे तो ये H plus और Cl minus aqueous ऐसा मिलता है। तो ये जनरली लिखा जाता है राइट साइड में in order to show that. So HCl whenever put into the water, it produces H plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous, हम लोग को यहाँ पे मिल जाता है। तो here dissociate मतलब सेपरेट हो गए, H plus and Cl minus सेपरेट हो गए, that is called dissociation। and completely का मतलब ये है कि इसका हमने लिया है 1 मोल, इसके आगे कुछ नहीं, मतलब 1 है। So 1 mole of HCl is taken and here all complete molecules has been dissociated। अभी हम अच्छी तरह जानते हैं 1 mole of any substance contains, 1 mole of any substance contains, very fundamental, that is 1 mole of any substance contains 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules or particles। ये अच्छी तरह जानते हैं हम लोग, ये अच्छी तरह जानते हैं। 1 mole of any substance always contains 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules। This figure is very high or big figure, 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules। हम जब HCl का एक मॉलिक्यूल लेते हैं, हम जब HCl का एक मॉलिक्यूल लेते हैं, जो हमने यहाँ पे लिया है, एक मॉलिक्यूल मतलब हमने इतने मॉलिक्यूल्स लिए, एक मोल मतलब इतने मॉलिक्यूल्स लिए। और हम जब रिएक्शंस लिखते हैं, ये याद रखिएगा, हम जब ऐसे रिएक्शन लिखते हैं तो यहाँ पे नेवर से इट इज अ वन मॉलिक्यूल, इट नेवर से, नेवर अंडरस्टूड दैट इट्स अ वन मॉलिक्यूल, इट इज कंसीडर्ड एज अ वन मोल ऑफ HCl। Any of the reaction always indicates all the substances are taken here in the format of mole, 1 mole, and 1 mole always contains 6.022 into 10 to 23 molecules। तो complete dissociation, strong electrolyte dissociate completely, इसका मतलब ये है, if we have taken 1 mole of HCl, मतलब 6.022 into 10 to 23 molecules of HCl, all molecules dissociate, not a single molecules remains। practically हो सकता है, but theoretically it is very clear that all 6.022 into 23 molecules what we are taken here in 1 mole of HCl completely dissociate। एक भी molecule ऐसा नहीं रहेगा जो dissociate नहीं हुआ है, and that phenomenon is nothing but the strong electrolyte। तो याद रखिएगा, strong electrolyte is the substance which dissociate completely। all the molecules, all the moles what we have taken that dissociate completely as H plus and Cl plus, cations and anions। whereas when we talk about weak electrolyte, say weak electrolyte का example जैसे आप दिया था मैंने ऊपर दर्ज किया है, CH3COOH, this is acidic acid, जिसे आप अच्छी तरह जानते हो, aldehyde ketones आपने देखा हुआ है, acids आपने देखे हुए हैं। so this is organic acid जिसे कहा जाता है CH3COOH, organic acid dissociate to produce CH3COO minus plus H plus, ऐसा मिलता है, ये मिलता है। now this is the weak electrolyte which dissociate partially का मतलब है small amount। so इसके अंदर भी ये बताता है कि 1 mole of this acidic acid is taken, though we have taken 1 mole means 6.022 to 23 molecules of acidic acid, very few molecule dissociate, very few molecule dissociates। मतलब अगर हम ऐसा मानते हैं कि हमने 100 मॉलिक्यूल लिए है तो 100 में से 2-3 मॉलिक्यूल डिसोसिएट हो जाएंगे, 98-97 molecules will remain in undissociated format। अब देखिए 100 में से 2-4 मॉलिक्यूल डिसोसिएट होते हैं, बाकी मॉलिक्यूल अनडिसोसिएटेड फॉर्मेट में रहते हैं, उसी को कहा जाता है डिसोसिएट पार्शियल। any weak electrolyte, any of the weak electrolyte always dissociate partially। अभी ये बात जरूर है, strong electrolyte dissociate completely। कौन सा भी strong acid लो, कौन सा भी strong base लो, कौन सा भी strong salt लो, जो कि strong electrolyte है that dissociate completely, एक भी molecule theoretically नहीं बचता है undissociated format। weak electrolyte के केस में dissociate partially। अभी partially का मतलब ये होता है कि 2-4 molecule dissociate होते हैं, थोड़ा सा quantity dissociate होता है। अभी मैंने ये लिया, मानो कि एसिडिक एसिड लिया, सपोज मैं ऐसा लेता हूं NH4OH, ये भी डिसोसिएट होता है टू प्रोड्यूस NH4 प्लस प्लस OH माइनस, ऐसा होता है। अभी देखिए दिस इज एसिड, दिस इज बेस, दोनों वीक है, दोनों भी वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स है बिकॉज़ दे डिसोसिएट पार्शियली, बट जो पार्शियली डिसोसिएट होते हैं उनका डिग्री ऑफ डिसोसिएशन एक जैसा नहीं होता है। मतलब मानो इसके 100 में से 2 मॉलिक्यूल डिसोसिएट होते हैं तो इसके 100 में से 3 भी हो सकते हैं, 2 भी हो सकते हैं, 1 भी हो सकता है, दोनों का एक जैसा नहीं है। वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट के केस में, वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट के केस में डिसोसिएशन इज नॉट सिमिलर, कोइंसिडेंटली इट मे बी सिमिलर Coincidentally, it may be similar, but it's not actually similar. In case of strong electrolyte, it is similar because every molecule dissociates. Every molecule dissociates. So this is the main difference between these two, what we can see here. So hope everyone got this. What is strong electrolyte and what is weak electrolyte concept? So as I stated, what is strong electrolyte? What is electrolyte basically? Electrolyte is a substance whose aqueous solution, whose aqueous solution produces cations and anions. The substance which produces cations and anions in aqueous solution is called as an electrolyte. There are two types of electrolytes, electrolytes and non-electrolytes. And electrolytes के अंदर दो आते हैं, strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes are the electrolytes which dissociate completely, and weak electrolytes are the substances which dissociate partially. Complete मतलब सारे के सारे molecule dissociate होते हैं, और partial मतलब बहुत कम quantity dissociate होता है. And that is what we can say here, partial, and here we can say completely. So that is the part what we get here for the strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Now, as I stated, there are examples. On the basis of example, or as far as examples is concerned, we can consider that strong electrolyte consists of all strong acids, all strong base, and all strong salts. Whereas weak electrolyte consists of weak acid, weak base, and the salts of weak acid and weak base like that. So salts both come in this category में आते हैं, लेकिन weak acid and weak base comes under this category, that is called a weak electrolyte category. So hope everyone got it. So we have seen number one definition, electrolytes and non-electrolytes, whereas we have some strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Let's have some example for them. So we can have some examples from weak electrolytes. Okay. So there are many examples of the acids and bases, but we have to remember some of them very well. So let's come down here. As we are seeing electrolytes, and electrolytes are of two types. That is, you can say this is strong electrolyte, and here you can say weak electrolyte. Okay. I mean, strong electrolyte consists of strong acid, and here you can say strong base. Even there you can say these are salts, and here weak electrolyte consists of weak acids and dusra you can say weak base. These are very important. Now, strong electrolyte dissociate completely, weak electrolyte dissociate partially. Let's come to strong acid. Strong acid में कौन-कौन आता है इसमें नहीं है. Strong acid क्या release करते हैं हम लोग? तो you can say HCl, HNO3, HCl, HNO3, as well as H2SO4, HI, HBr. These are the substances. Even HI and HBr. These are the substances. You can say HI or HBr. These are the strong acids. HCl, HNO3, H2SO4 तो आप जानते ही थे. इसके अंदर आप HI और HBr की भी एडिशन कर दीजिएगा. These are also considered strong acids. और कोई भी strong electrolyte होता है तो उसका dissociation आप देखिए, कोई भी लेते हैं हम लोग. HNO3 की बात करते हैं हम लोग. So we are here HNO3. HNO3 dissociate to produce H plus plus NO3 minus. And here is the aqueous. Here is the aqueous. Aqueous. This is the dissociation. Dissociation हमेशा इस तरीके से दिखाया जाता है. Whereas if we have the weak acids, weak acid हमारे डेली रूटीन लाइफ में हम कई सारे एसिड के साथ डील करते हैं. विनेगर, उसके अंदर एसिड होता है. देन वी कैन हैव सिट्रस एसिड, है ना, वो भी हम जानते हैं. जो अभी हमने देखा था कि एसिडिक एसिड की बात करते हैं, CH3COOH to produce CH3CO minus plus H plus. This is what we can say. H plus ये हम लोगों को मिल जाता है. Hope I am writing just small, but you are getting handwrite well. If not, please let me know. This is acetic acid. This dissociated like this one. But being this is a weak electrolyte, here this arrow has to be a double-headed arrow like this one. And here you can see this one. This is the arrow how we can show it. Whereas when it is a strong electrolyte, it has to be shown by the single-headed arrow. उसके अंदर सिर्फ single-headed arrow होता है. याद रखिएगा. Arrow से ही पता चलेगा हम लोगों को, और reaction लिखते समय clear हो जाएगा कि double-headed arrow, forward and reverse, shows it is a weak electrolyte. So whenever we have to show the dissociation of weak electrolyte, always use a double-headed arrow. Or when we have to use dissociation of strong electrolyte, always use a single-headed arrow. So HNO3 is like this. अगर हम H2SO4 लिखना चाहते हैं तो H2SO4, that dissociate to produce twice H plus plus SO4 minus minus SO4 minus minus. This is what we can say H2SO4. और यहाँ पे हम लोग बोल सकते हैं that is HCl H2S, HCl. This acid is also there, which is H plus plus Cn minus. ये हो सकता है. Weak base की बात करते हैं तो we can say NH4OH. This is a very important weak base like this, and here it produces NH4 plus plus OH minus like this one. And here you can say when strong base की बात आती है, so say NaOH to produce Na plus plus OH minus. Again here aqueous. Again here aqueous. सब जगह aqueous तो aqueous आ रहा है यहाँ. मैं अगर भूल भी जाता हूँ लिखना तो याद रखिएगा कि आपको लिखना ही लिखना है. Sometimes it may happen कि मैं भूल सकता हूँ, लिखने का रह जाता है. आप याद रखिए यहाँ पे aqueous लिखना ही लिखना पड़ेगा, तभी जाके ये राइट उसके अंदर से होता है. So in that sense you can say these are the strong acids, these are the strong base, and strong salt की बात करते हैं तो we can say NaCl like salt, Na plus plus Cl minus, aqueous, and here is the aqueous. Okay, so all these are nothing but the strong electrolyte which dissociate completely. All these nothing but the strong weak electrolyte which dissociate partially. Many अभी यहाँ पे अगर हम लिस्ट की बात करते हैं तो जैसे मैंने NH4OH की बात की, NH4OH एक है, फिर हमारे पास MgOH twice भी हो सकता है, CaOH twice भी हो सकता है. There are many weak bases. Copper hydroxide भी हो सकता है. There are many weak bases यहाँ पे. इसकी भी बात करेंगे तो और H2S की बात होती है, then हाइड्रोजन साइनाइड की बात की हमने, फॉर्मिक एसिड की बात की हमने. So this can be a more weak electrolytes you can say यहाँ पे हो सकते हैं. और यहाँ पे देखेंगे हम लोग NaOH के साथ साथ NaOH हो सकता है हमारा, then पोटेशियम हाइड्रोक्साइड हो सकता है, like you can say as here NaOH, then KOH, like these are the substances which can be called as a strong base. So as we have seen, there are many strong acids, many strong base, as well as salts which acts as a strong electrolytes, and here are the weak acid and weak base which acts as a weak electrolytes. Out of that, there are many examples. But here in the chapter for our convenience, I am saying again for our convenience, again and again, we'll remember or we'll use this one. ये बहुत ज़्यादा use करेंगे, ये बहुत ज़्यादा use करेंगे हम लोग, ये बहुत ज़्यादा use करेंगे. तो आपको there are many weak acids or weak bases. What are there listed? Out of that, ये दोनों बोलना मना है. जैसे मैं बताऊंगा आपके सामने ये आना ही आना है. Weak acid is acetic acid. Weak base is ammonium hydroxide. आना ही आना. जैसे बेस की बात आती है NaOH आपके सामने आना ही आना है. This is NaOH. और you can say HCl, ये आपके सामने आना ही आना है. सॉल्ट बात करेंगे तो NaCl आपके सामने आना ही आना. समझ रहे आप लोग? आना ही आना. So these are the example what you need to remember, because there are many phenomena or many reactions what I am going to explain with the help of these substances. Even there are some general representations for the acids and base what we are use. जैसे कि एसिड के लिए यूज किया जाएगा Ha, बेस के लिए यूज किया जाएगा BOH, और सॉल्ट के लिए यूज किया जाएगा Ba. These three notations. These are the particular examples of acid, base and salts. This is a general representation. वो क्यों है, वो हमारे पास जब टॉपिक डिस्कस करेंगे हम लोग, व्हाट आर द डेफिनेशंस ऑफ एसिड, बेस एंड सॉल्ट, तब आपके सामने आएगा. जनरली एसिड इज रिप्रेजेंटेड एज Ha, बेस इज रिप्रेजेंटेड एज BOH, एंड सॉल्ट इज रिप्रेजेंटेड एज Ba. ये जब आपके सामने आएगा तो पिक्चर थोड़ा सा शायद आपके सामने क्लियर होगा. सो उसके साथ हम लोग उसके हिसाब से चलेंगे, ठीक है ना. So that is what needed from our side. That is what needed from our side. So this is what we can say introduction for this one. That is electrolytes and all. Now the thing is that here in the chapter we are going to deal with acid, base and salts. Need to be defined. They need to be defined. What is called as acid? अगर मैं आपको पूछता हूँ कि एसिड का डेफिनेशन क्या है, तो एसिड क्या है, एसिड के एग्जांपल कौन से, तो आप सीधा बोल देंगे सर these are the acids के एग्जांपल, HCl, HNO3, H2SO4, these are the examples of acid. मैं आपको बेस पूछता हूँ तो बेस के एग्जांपल भी देंगे आप लोग, चाहे स्ट्रांग हो चाहे वीक हो. बट कॉन्सेप्चुअली व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज एसिड, एसिड किसे कहते हैं और बेस किसे कहते हैं, दैट वाज अ बिग क्वेश्चन. कॉन्सेप्चुअल डेफिनेशन बताना पड़ेगा हम लोगों को. जब तक हम लोग कॉन्सेप्चुअली इस सब्सटेंस को एसिड कहा जाता है ऐसा नहीं कहेंगे तो कैसे चलेगा. आज की तारीख में देयर आर मेनी एग्जांपल्स ऑफ एसिड व्हिच यू नो वेल, बट व्हिच सब्सटेंस इज कॉल्ड एज एसिड एंड व्हिच सब्सटेंस इज कॉल्ड एज बेस एंड व्हाई दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एसिड बेस. Do we have the definitions for this? That is what we will discuss. Scientists from the different parts of the world try to define this acid and base. सबसे पहले आता है classical theory, जो आपकी बुक के अंदर भी अभी listed नहीं है. While or in the development period of the chemistry, scientists tried to define the acid and base, but it was difficult. So they just formulated the properties of acid and base. They just formulated the properties of क्या होते हैं acid के properties, क्या होते हैं base के properties. They formulated, and they try to define this property itself as an acid. Acid is corrosive in action. Acid is corrosive in action. हम जानते हैं acid अगर हमारे skin के ऊपर गिरेगा तो जलता है. Experiment मत कीजिएगा. Acid is always dangerous. Don't deal with this one. Don't go for some of the exercise. Experiments allowed. Acid is corrosive in action. Irritating action होता है हमारे skin के ऊपर, जलता है skin के ऊपर. Acid reacts with base to produce salt and water. Acid reacts with active metal with evolution of hydrogen. Acid turns which litmus to which, you know very well, blue to red. Acid turns blue litmus to red. These are the properties of the acids. Whereas there are some acid is a sarin test. Acid is sarin test. हम जानते हैं नींबू खाते हैं हम लोग. नींबू में citrus acid होता है. That is sarin test. So ये हम जानते हैं. Opposite to that, when we talk about the base, base is bitter in test. Base is bitter in test. Never take a test. Never deal with the test and smell of the substances unless and until it is guided by the professors or expert person in that part. So, but acid is sarin test. On the opposite hand, sar is bitter in test. Sorry, base is bitter in test. Bitter, the base turns red litmus to blue. Base do not react with active metal with the evolution of hydrogen. Base reacts with acid to produce salt and water. Base has the capacity to neutralize acid. So these are the properties of acids and base which were described in the development period of the chemistry in 17th century, 18th century around. So that is called as a classical definition of acids. After that, Arrhenius is the first scientist who tried to define conceptually what is acid. Followed by, there is a Lowry and Bronsted scientist. These are the two scientists from different parts of the world. Two different parts of the world. They define acid and base all at the same time and having the similar definitions. So that's why there is combined called as a Lowry and Bronsted theory. That is second. And third is nothing but the Lewis theory of acid and base. There are three different theories who try to define acid and base. Number one, Arrhenius. Number two, Lowry Bronsted. And number three, you can say Lewis theory try to define the acid and base. So in tomorrow's lecture, we'll discuss how these acid bases are defined, what are the examples of that, and accordingly we'll go ahead with this. Till then, thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.